What is up, everyone? My name is Chris. Welcome back to the Bimmer barn. Today we have a special episode for you because we are on a 1,600 mile road trip with my E39 M5 wagon. So today I'm gonna be showing you guys the full trip, the experience. So we're right outside of Jacksonville right now. We just stopped for gas. Gotta grab some gas, of course, before we head out. And now we're gonna get on the road. It's about 10 more hours up to West Virginia, and hopefully we won't have any issues along the way. I don't think we will. This car is gonna do great. But let's go ahead and show you the car. I just finished washing it last night, if you saw it in our last video, and it looks really clean. And let's just show you how the setup is. There's the car. Say hi, Max. So we got the car fully loaded up with everything that we could need, our bags, personal belongings, and of course, plenty of room here in the back. It's locked, but plenty of room here in the back for all the rest of our stuff. You know, we got a cooler, we got our bags. Car is riding really good on the air suspension so far. Really enjoy. Glad I chose this setup. And look at that. It's just beautiful outside. The sun's coming up, and I think that's a thumbnail right now. What do you guys think? So I'm gonna hop in the car now, and we're gonna get back on the road. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and without further ado, let's get right into it.
Head northwest, then turn right.
Welcome to South Carolina. So I think we just crossed the border a few hours ago, and we finally made it to 20.1 miles to the gallon. Now I think I'm gonna try to squeeze 21 miles to the gallon out of this car, see if we can do it. But car's doing really well. Max did notice at the last gas station that we stopped at that it had a oil burning smell, and so I popped the hood, I checked, I couldn't find any oil leaking. I couldn't find any smoke either, so that's a good sign. It did smell a little bit, and I also checked the oil, and the oil is good. So we're doing good. We just stopped for some McDonald's for lunch. We're gonna grab our food to go, hop in the car, and keep on driving. Hopefully we make it somewhere close to the town where the ski resort is before the sun goes down. But at this point, it looks like we'll probably make it right after the sun goes down. So let's get back in the car with our food, and let's get right back to driving. Alrighty guys, this is Chris reporting live on the scene. We're in the middle of a snowstorm, basically, covered in it. We got the car parked here last night. You know, we got in real late, so I didn't get a chance to get any footage for you guys. But now it is the next morning. We got our ski gear. We're gonna get ready to head on the slopes now. I wanted to check on the car because when I parked it last night, I was really sketched out because when I got it in this spot, I wanted to actually move it, and I tried pulling it out of the spot, and it just kept slipping. So I don't have any snow tires, obviously. We might have to ask someone to get us out of this spot later, or hopefully by the end of our trip, it'll have melted, because you can see all the ice right there. Car's not going anywhere, so we definitely need that to thaw out in order to get out of here. But otherwise, we're gonna head out on the slopes now. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm gonna try to get some cool ski and snowboard footage for you now. So I hope you enjoy the video. Let's get right to the slopes.
Many hours later.
Alrighty guys, so as you can see, we were able to move the car out of that really poor parking spot. I shouldn't have chosen to get in there, but you know what? Hindsight is 2020. Now we're in a level parking spot. We're very close to the road, which is salted, and that makes it grippy to drive on. So maybe I should have put some snow tires on or gotten some snow chains, but you know, as they say, hindsight's 2020. So we're gonna leave the car here in this spot and now get a shuttle back to our hotel room, and then we're going to eat some grub and do some more skiing. Alrighty, so I just hiked over to the car. Like I said, we ended up parking a little bit further away from our hotel because I think we're gonna have a little bit better traction here, although it does look a little bit icy, but there's salt on the roads. So I'm gonna go ahead and warm the car up now. Last time I warmed it up took about like 30 minutes. So I definitely want to make it out here to the car early, get it warmed up before we even got on the road. So let me hop in here and try to warm the baby up and get out of here. So I wanted to get Max's impressions on the E39 5, see kind of what he thinks about the car. So Max, what would you say is your favorite thing about the car and your least favorite thing about the car?
Favorite thing about the car would...
And we're stuck in traffic, by the way, so I'm not like driving faster.
Probably favorite thing about the car would be the utility of it. Honestly, like we have so many bags back there, and then our cooler and everything, and then we're still riding this car and it's still comfortable. I can bring out my legs, and while we're at it, we can still go from 70 to 85 miles per hour as fast as we need to pass somebody on the road. So for being either a commuter or for road trips, it's definitely ideal in that fashion.
And then comfy, it's like, you know, comfy and spacious, I think is a good way to like put it, right? Where like
Least favorite was when going over bumps or going over overpasses, especially. The air suspension was a little bit like a trampoline.
I might have to like adjust some of the settings maybe with air suspension. I would say maybe a little bit bouncy, but like really when it like syncs up on something, like if you're going over a long bridge and the bridge is like chunk chunk chunk,
yes,
then that's when the car is going to be like bounce bounce bounce, and you're like, whoa. I wouldn't say it's like too bad. Well, definitely not like a stiff bounce like a coilover.
When we were riding on a road like we're doing right now, but going 80 miles per hour, not -1 miles per hour, it's fine, it's comfortable, and it rides very well, even with, you know, crappy to poor roads that South Carolina is known for.
Car's doing great so far. We're stuck in traffic, and AC's blowing nice and cold, so we're comfy.
AC's great.
And the sound system works pretty good. I'm still missing cruise control, so I haven't wired that in yet. So
yes,
that's why I did all the driving on this trip. I really wanted to get a good feel for the car. If anything was going to happen in the car, I wanted to be the one driving. If we were going to get a ticket in the car, I wanted to be the one to get a ticket. But it was, I mean, this trip has been and continues to be a really good like learning trip for the car, and testing trip, I guess. So I'm really happy with how it's done so far. 21.1 miles to the gallon average for the trip, which is pretty good for this car. So yeah.
Awesome.
Now we are finally back home safe and sound. That was a really long journey, and the car shows it. The car is very dirty. It's got salt, dirt, water, melted snow, you name it, it's on the car. I hope, all the ice is gone, obviously, because we're here in Florida and it's all melted by now. But the car did a great job. A couple of key facts were that the car did about 21.5 miles to the gallon, I think, average. And it got up to about 21.1 on the way up, and then about 21.5 going down. The car burnt 1 quart of oil. So on the way up, as I said, it was smelly a little bit, and it wasn't as smelly at the rest of the gas stops. But then checking the oil level when we got back to the house last night, it was low. So I went ahead and dumped the last of the single quart that I had, and I brought it with us on the trip. I ended up putting, I think, like a quarter of that quart on the trip, and I just finished and put the last of it now, and it looks to be right under the halfway mark. So I'd say we burnt about 1 quart of oil, or leaked it. That's something we're gonna have to find out in a future episode. But the car did a great job, was very comfy, had no problem on the 12-hour drive, plenty of power, decent gas mileage, long tank capacity, so you can go a long distance between refills, which was nice. Max gave some really nice feedback about the airbags, and I'm going to continue to try to dial those in. Keep in mind, I just installed the setup and I haven't messed around with any of the damper settings, or the rear strut setup is still a Bilstein and non-adjustable. So I think that there is some adjustment to be made there. But overall, I'm really happy with how this car did on our 1,600 mile road trip. And I'm really excited to take it on a ton more trips and to bring you guys along on the journey. So if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like, comment down below what the last road trip was that you did in your BMW, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more BMW content like this. We'll see you next time.